Okay, and I'm back, guys. If you were watching that last live stream, I may have turned it off. Again, I'm still trying to figure out how to do this. I think that I had made that last live stream not public. It looked like it was set as private or unlisted. So, whoops, my mistake. Anyway, welcome to Smart Silver Stacker Live, guys. If you are watching, I appreciate you tuning in. We're going to talk about silver tonight, and I kind of was just live streaming for a bit, but I don't know if I was doing it right. Again, not the most technically inclined person. But if you are watching, thank you. Appreciate it. Really love to have all of my subscribers tune in. Let me know if you are watching. Give the video a big thumbs up down below as well. I really appreciate that. We're gonna do. We're gonna be talking about silver, cryptocurrency, gold, whatever you guys like. It's Friday night. It's 2021, so we're living in strange times. There's no doubt. Got bubbles and everything. We got fiat currency being created through the nose. I'm here. Christopher Garland says, "Okay, I was just doing a stream where I was talking to myself for like 15 minutes, I think, Chris. So thank you for saying hello. I don't know if I set it up properly or what, but I think that it was like a private stream or unlisted. I don't know. Anyway, I'm glad to see that someone's here in the chat and watching. That makes me feel a lot better that I'm not just talking to myself. It feels very weird doing a live stream like this when there's no response. So I do appreciate that. Probably something I just need to get used to, but also I got to kind of master the technical aspects of live streaming here. I don't know. Did you see the live stream I was just doing before this for about 15 minutes? I'm not sure if anybody did. Anyway, I was talking about this shortage that seems to be developing in the junk silver market. Now, if you just heard me talking about this for a while, let me know. I tried getting on, but it kicked me off. Yeah, I don't know. I did something wrong with that last one. Anyway, thank you for joining this one. Let's talk about this kind of weird shortage that is developing in junk silver. 'Cause if you look, JM Bullion has got no junk silver in stock at all. They have some 40% silver, but they don't have any 90% silver coins in stock right now. And I know that JM Bullion is just one online dealer, but they've kind of been running in and out of stock for a while now. I made a video called "Is there a junk silver shortage?" or something to that extent a couple days ago, and I pointed out that JM Bullion was out of stock in a lot of these products, and then they've come back into stock. Now they're all out again. So what that shows me is that supplies are just really tight, and that there is a limited supply of these 90% coins. Now, of course, we know that there is, in fact, quite a limited supply because they haven't been minted in over 50 years. These are all pre 1964, of course. Now, there are some 90% silver coins that get minted today, like ST Bullion has some of them. They're these, what are they called? America the Beautiful or something like that. Yeah, these America the Beautiful 90% quarters. Yankee Stacking had done a video about these a while ago. I remember they were brought to my attention by his video where he was talking about what a good deal they were. And I think at the time they probably were, but you can see premiums have really gone up on those quite a bit as well. Those are running more than $30 per troy ounce of silver. And the cheapest junk silver I've been able to find just now from the online dealers, yeah, it also shows people want them for stacking and prepping. Yes, you're right. You're right. That I think that is why there is a big demand for these. I mean, in the past, I can remember when I first started really stacking about maybe about 12 years ago now, like 2010-ish. Um, these were like one of the main forms of silver that you'd go out and buy. Like you'd either go out and you'd buy a maple leaf or you'd buy an ASE or you'd buy some 90% junk silver. And now the premiums have gotten so crazy on these. Um, I I really I would love the premiums to come down because I like stacking junk silver and it's one of my favorite types of silver to purchase and to stack. But I have a hard time paying 30 bucks an ounce for these old worn silver coins. And they're awesome. I love, I shouldn't even call it junk. It's constitutional silver. It really does harken back to a time when we had hard money and all that stuff. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful to coins by calling them, junk. They're anything but. The real junk is the clad coinage that we used to do, the fake money. It's copper and then it's got this nickel coating on it to make it look like silver. Um, but yeah, 90% silver is amazing. It does seem like there's a shortage developing though, so something to keep an eye on. Now, a shortage, if you're holding a bunch of junk silver, isn't really the end of the world. In fact, I'd say it's a good thing if you are looking to sell because if the price and the premium moves up on it, hopefully as a holder, you'll be able to collect some of that premium if you go to sell your coins. But it's too bad for us stackers. I always people talk a lot about how the price of silver hasn't moved up and it should be moving more, and people are discouraged by the low prices in silver. But you know, low silver prices are an opportunity. I don't want silver to go to $100 an ounce. I'd have a hard time buying it at $100 an ounce. I think a lot harder time than I do at 22 or like 30, which is what you're really going to pay if you buy some silver these days. Now, speaking of getting the most silver for your money, I did notice that JM Bullion. If you guys are looking to do some stacking this week, and I don't work for JM Bullion or anything. I'm independent. I don't have a deal with any of these bullion dealers or anything. But I did just notice while I was browsing the site that they've got these 1 kilo JBR silver bars on sale right now for a pretty good price. 821.43 for a kilo comes out to 279 per ounce over spot. So if you like kilo bars, these look like a good deal right now. I wish I had 800 bucks to stack with right now. I'd probably pick one of these up. And Christopher Garland says, I'd go to the bank, buy rolls of dimes and quarters, look for silver ones, and turn back in regular coins. Can't find it well that way anymore. Yeah, coin roll hunting, man. Coin roll hunting is a lot of fun. But yeah, you won't find much these days. This is a site I like. You guys have probably all seen this, but Coinflation. This is a cool website. They give you kind of the melt value of all your coins. Here are the modern clad coins, and then you can scroll down and you can find the silver coins, the 90%, and it'll tell you exactly what the metal content is worth based on the spot price. And yeah, you could find these back in the day. You could go get yourself a roll of dimes or a roll of quarters and kind of edge check them and hunt through them and find some silver. I've done that a little bit. The only luck I've ever had coin roll hunting is with half dollars. You buy a $500 box of half dollars, and most of them are just going to be Kennedy clad. But I've never even found a 90% half dollar in there. I have found several 40% half dollars doing that. Probably not worth the time, but it is fun to do. And if I'm going to go coin roll hunting today, though, the one that I typically will grab is a box of pennies. And I'll try to make sure it's not like a box right from the mint because I don't want to open up a box with a bunch of pennies that were minted in 2021. What I'm looking for is these 1909 to 1982 cents, which are 95% copper. So if you're in the mood for coin roll hunting, again, I don't necessarily know that the ROI is there. It's just fun to do, but you can stack up some copper coins that way. And if you guys have watched my audio is very low. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. Let's see, how can I boost my audio? How can I boost my audio? I have the input turned all the way up here. I, like I've said, I'm not exactly a technical master at these things. Oh yeah, I'm turning the speakers up now. I can see that I'm pretty low here. Hold on one moment, everybody. Bear with me as I try to increase my headset volume here so that you guys can hear me better. I am still pretty new to doing all of this from a technical aspect, so I apologize for the low audio. I know that can make watching a stream kind of a pain, I'm sure. I might have to disconnect and reconnect. Can you guys hear me at all? Like, is it listenable, or should I restart the stream and try to figure out what's going on there? Increase microphone in computer volumes, probably. Yeah, yeah. I'm using a headset. Let's see, device, blah blah blah. Gosh, I wish I just was a little more skillful with technology sometimes. No worries, I cranked it on my side and I can hear it. Okay, I'm deaf in one ear and can't hear out the other. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jaden. Yeah, well, maybe you guys have to crank up your volume. I'm gonna try not hearing you, Neil says. Shoot. All right, guys, give me 1 second. Let me see what I can do. You are at about 50%. It's doable, John D says. Um, Again, I don't want to really bore you guys while I'm talking about here. I think I'm onto it though. Okay. All right. Is that any better? You guys might be able to hear me a little bit better now. I think maybe I wasn't using the right microphone. I think I was using like my laptop microphone, and now, let's see. Okay, there we go. I think that should be better. Anyway, I hope it is. I don't want to spend all night trying to fix my microphone. I'll have to do that before next time. Let me know if I need to speak up, or I don't want you guys tuning out because of audio problems either. So I appreciate you bearing with me. Again, kind of new to live streaming. Um, I'm hoping that I can do these more regularly if you guys like them, or I can always stick to the traditional videos, whatever you guys prefer. I did not mean to interrupt your discussion. Just a tech note. No, that's okay, Joe. Why? It's not. You're not disrupting anything. I'm just still, pretty new to. Sounds same to me. Yeah, maybe I didn't fix it. Again, I'm not a technical wizard. Smart silver stacker. It's not because I'm smart. Um, it's because I like alliteration. That's why I'm the smart silver stacker. So don't get it twisted. It's not because I'm some kind of genius. I'm definitely not. Uh, but I'm glad if you guys can hear me now. So I was talking about. Let's see. Let's go back to coinflation. Yeah, coin roll hunting. Coin roll hunting is a lot of fun. I prefer pennies to looking for silver. I've never had a lot of luck finding silver. I've had more luck, collecting copper pennies. Anyway, what else is going on? Okay, now since some of you guys are watching now, we can take a look at some of this stuff from Janet Yellen. This is some interesting video, so I'm going to go ahead and play this. This is U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman Janet Yellen speaking at the British Academy in London. This was back in 2017, and this is a pretty famous quote. You've probably heard this quote, but I don't know if you've seen the video, so let's play this.
I think the system is much safer and much sounder. As I mentioned, we're doing a lot more to try to look for financial stability risks that may not be immediately apparent, but to look in corners of the financial system that are not subject to regulation outside those areas in order to try to detect threats to financial stability that may be emerging. So would I say there will never, ever be another financial crisis? Probably that would be going too far, but I do think we're much safer, and I hope that it will not be in our lifetimes, and I don't believe it will be.
Right. So that was 2017. You can see Janet Yellen just really nailed that on the head. What's Nick the Ice Pick Rigatoni here? He says bought a 1901 S Mint $10 Gold Eagle, $1,000. I don't really know if that's a good deal or not. I don't know that much about gold. I don't own any pre 1933 gold. We need more people over 80 in government. Yeah, yeah, Jaden Kutz. Like I probably wouldn't want to drive in a car driven by Janet Yellen, but yeah, she's perfectly fine running the economy. No, I know what you mean. There's a lot of 80-year-olds in government. It's very strange. You don't really see that anywhere except in government and banking, it seems like. Um, Geriatric politicians and financiers. It's just crazy how disconnected they seems to be. They seem to be. Nick the Ice Pick Rigatoni. He says it books for 12.50. Okay, well, goodbye then. How much gold is in it? Would be my question about the 1901 S Mint $10 Gold Eagle. And I know that's probably an annoying thing to say about that, but I don't put too much into numismatic premiums and stuff like that. You'd be yelling if you were in that car. Yeah, you'd be yelling, right? You'd be yelling if you were in the car with yelling. Oh boy, I like puns too. It's not just alliteration. Um, John D says they are the me generation. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all about them. They're the greatest generation, and they want to say just go to college and get a degree and you'll be fine, and then people can't find jobs. So it's pretty funny. Look at this. I didn't notice this until just now, but this is a Wall Street Journal page video. It says, Yellen, our financial system is much safer and sounder. It's got 11 thumbs up and 31 thumbs down. That's hilarious. The people on YouTube are calling Janet Yellen out on her BS. I just noticed that right now. But if you look 31 down, I'm not logged into YouTube on this screen, but I would give that a thumbs down if I could. That's pretty funny. So anyway, here is another clip of her. So she was saying that there wouldn't be another financial crisis in our lifetimes, but she's singing a different tune here at the congressional testimony that she was giving in regards to the debt ceiling. Let's see what she had to say.
I think there's no question but that if Congress were to fail to raise the debt limit, or even if it was feared if we're getting close, and it looks as in 2011 like Congress might not raise the debt ceiling and we might not be able to pay our bills, that you would expect to see an interest rate spike.
Now, first of all, I think it's great that she's saying we need to raise the debt ceiling to pay our bills. And isn't that really the same as just admitting that we can't pay our bills? If you have to borrow money to pay your bills, can you really pay them? So this seems to me sort of a de facto admission that our debts are unpayable in the sense that she's saying if you don't raise the debt ceiling, we're going to default. And that would be pretty scary to me if I was the one loaning money to the U.S. government. But let's go ahead and finish this up.
And if the debt ceiling were not raised, I think there would be a financial crisis and a calamity. And absolutely, it's true that the interest payments on the government debt would increase. I would be concerned that the dollar and treasury assets, which are regarded as the most secure in the world and serve as the basis for the dollar to be the reserve currency, that it.
Right. So if there's an interest rate spike, then she's saying the debt would become a lot more difficult to service. And let's see what's going on in the chat here. Nick, the ice pick rigatoni, 16.7 grams. All right, very good. Let's see. Silver is needed for health. Yeah, I don't know if it's like an essential mineral. You probably need a little bit of it, but I have heard that, the colloidal silver is good. I've never used it myself. I've always been afraid of getting turned into a Smurf, but that's probably just anti-silver propaganda or something. I don't know. I just never have used it. I know that silver is really antimicrobial and it's non-toxic, so that's a good thing. Yep, more credit is the answer. Christopher Garland says, "Yeah, right. So yeah, borrowing money. We borrowed too much money, so let's borrow some more money." Uh, that seems to be the strategy. Silver Dog says, howdy. Howdy, Silver Dog. Um, Joe Y says, if you're looking for an under the radar thing to stack, nickel. FYI, Canadian nickels from 1922 to 1982 are 99.9% pure. Yeah, I have a few of those actually. They're cool. They have the little beaver on them. I like Canadian coins. I like Canadian junk silver. I used to do this thing where I sort of had like a business where I would go around and I would buy used books and I would sell them through Amazon. And while I was doing that, I mean, my main focus was books, but I was stacking at the time too. So whenever I'd go to these estate sales and stuff where I'd pick up books, I always ask about coins and silver. You'd find some stuff sometimes. It was never really enough to make it worth your time unless you had something else to look for, like the books. The books were actually somewhat lucrative. Um, but I would buy coins and stuff and like lots of coins. Sometimes people would have a bunch of foreign coins from when they traveled, and I would just offer them like a couple bucks for it to take it off their hands just for their convenience, and they would do it sometimes, and I'd end up with like, a bunch of Canadian pocket change, which was great actually because they have dollar and $2 clad coinage up there. I'd get some of those, and you could sell them on eBay or you can take them and exchange them for U.S. dollars. But also, I would get some of those nickels and I would hang on to those. Nick, the Ice Pick Rigatoni says, how much longer can they artificially hold silver down? I don't know, man. I mean, a while. The fiat system that they have going has proved to be pretty, robust. People have a lot of confidence in it, and that's the key to holding silver down, I think, because the way that silver is manipulated is that, well, I mean, I view it sort of as manipulation, but paper contracts can be sold to drive the price down. Now, I'm not a financial expert, so I don't know how much actual manipulation there is. Like sometimes I think the price of silver does fall just because of normal market forces, or because of investor sentiment, and that's not manipulation. It's just silver being brought down. But yeah, there is manipulation too. I mean, you know, like this headline here, J.P. Morgan manipulation. Let's see. Yeah, J.P. Morgan was ordered to pay $920 million for manipulating precious metals last year. So there is some manipulation, but I don't know how much longer the price of silver will remain down, and I don't know if it's guaranteed that it's because of manipulation, but the price of silver, I don't think there's ever been a stronger fundamental case for it. So silver could even go lower. It could stay lower for a while, but I think ultimately it's going to have its day and it's going to need to revalue and need to come up in price because otherwise there's going to be shortages. And if it is manipulation holding it down, I will say this, eventually, if the paper price is manipulated and abused and manipulated, eventually there will just be a disconnect between the physical price of metal and the paper price. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing with the high premiums right now. I don't think it's dealers being greedy because there's enough dealers that there should be competition bringing the price of physical metal down. But we don't really see that. So I suspect that it's a deeper problem than just price gouging on the part of dealers. But I think that if the price is being held down artificially, ultimately that will result in a higher price when it does start to move to the upside. So I mean, please, like manipulate silver down to zero. I would love it because if I can buy silver cheaper, I'm happy. Banks and big money, they're going to play their game. As a stacker, you just have to play yours. You're not worried about the paper price. I wouldn't worry about it. I think about it in terms of ounces of metal because, the ounces of metal are the real money. They're not the fiat. So thinking in terms of, how many of these fiat Federal Reserve notes can I get for my silver isn't necessarily the right way to think about it. Um, Let's see, we can close this. I do want to listen to a little bit more of what Janet Yellen had to say, though. Let's look at the chat here real quick. Hopefully long enough for me to stack 1,000 ounces. Yeah, getting 1,000 ounces of silver is a good goal, definitely. Once you get to that kind of core position, I think you can start looking at maybe some more speculative investments. But 1,000 ounces of silver is a really good thing to have. John D says, I love junk silver. They aren't making any more of it, so we'll get collector value. Canadian junk has reasonable premiums. Yeah, the Canadian junk is cool. 80% junk dimes and stuff. I like those. I have some of those. If you can get them at a low premium, I haven't really looked at the premium on them too much lately, but maybe that would be something to look into, considering that premiums on 90% coins are so high. Um, Joe Y says most mined nickel is meteoric, and there are really two places it's in great abundance: Canada and Mongolia. Both are running out, relatively speaking. Yeah, and nickel probably is going to see a big move up in prices. because of battery demand for electric vehicles. Nickel's a main component of electric vehicle batteries. So I would expect that also, as you know, because of inflation, the price of nickel will move higher. But it may move higher not just in nominal terms, but also in absolute terms, because there's going to be a lot of demand for it as we begin to build more and more electric cars. Joe Wise says, I think silver will drop below $20 again before it goes over 30. Yeah, it could. I hope so. I'd love to buy on the dip. Jaden Coots says fundamentals always win over if we live long enough. Yeah, the market can remain irrational for a long time. There's no doubt about that. But you also, you want to play the long game. You want to buy assets when they're cheap, not when they're expensive. The time to buy Bitcoin. Everybody talks about Bitcoin, crypto. It is moving up right now, of course. But the time to the time to buy that was back in 2011 when it was real cheap. Now is probably the time to be selling, maybe hodling some of your position. But if I had a bunch of profits in Bitcoin, I would want to probably take some of those profits off the table and buy something a little bit more secure, like precious metals. Of course, I'm thinking like a stacker, so I'm going to always want to stack. Christopher Garland says, I like Canadian silver coins. Much of it is 80% silver, but still good. But there are a bunch of different percentages with Canadian coins. Yeah, there's a lot of variability. There's even some sterling Canadian coins, although that's the older stuff. So I don't know if you'd really consider that junk because it might have some kind of numismatic value. But there is some, I believe that the Canadian coin started out as 92.5% pure, and then they switched to 80%, like sometime after World War One. Something to do with the inflation and all that. They're, debasing the currency a little bit. But it's funny when you think of an 80% silver coin as debased. Now we have a 0% silver coin. At 600 ounces now, Nick the Ice Pick Rigatoni. Nick the Ice Pick. How'd you get that name, huh? Uh, Nick the Ice Pick. 600 ounces of silver. Good job, man. You're more than halfway there. You got 400 ounces to go. Maybe you can stack up some of those kilo bars from JM Bullion I was talking about earlier. Um, Anyway, okay, I've gotten to the bottom of the chat now. And thank you guys very much for participating in the chat. I mean, that is kind of the fun part about the live stream is getting to communicate with you guys in real time. So let's see what the rest of what Janet Yellen had to say here was.
Would undermine confidence in the dollar as a reserve currency, and the interest payments of ordinary Americans on their mortgages and on their cars and on their credit cards would all go up in line with higher Treasury borrowing costs. And
Right. So, yeah, if the US were to default, it would undermine confidence in the dollar as the world reserve currency. Now, I would think that admitting that you cannot pay your debts without further borrowing would undermine confidence in the dollar as the world reserve currency. I guess Janet Yellen doesn't think that that's the case, but I mean, it just seems to me hilarious that she's talking about the debt ceiling not being raised, being being the factor that could undermine confidence in the dollar as the world reserve currency. Like, how about massive currency creation and debt monetization by our central bank, and this situation where we have to maintain low interest rates in order to even service our debt. That should all be what's really undermining confidence in the dollar as the world reserve currency, not Congress failing to raise the debt ceiling. And they did raise it, by the way. They've come to some agreement where I guess it kicked the can down the road to December. But of course, that didn't solve anything. You cannot solve the problem simply by more and more borrowing. And it was Janet Yellen who said recently, it was in one of her other testimonies, she said that we didn't even need to really think about the debt. All we really need to think about is servicing the debt. Uh, and of course, that is predicated upon a low interest rate environment. But rates have been low for a very long time, and they can't stay low forever. The whole reason that the Fed is involved in these asset purchases that they're doing, the $120 billion of treasury notes and mortgage-backed securities and everything that they're buying every month, is because interest rates were creeping up, and they had to, lower them by going in and buying up bonds to drive the yield down. And eventually, that's going to become the only way that they can control rates. Let's see what the chat is saying. I sold my cryptos, made some profit, but it is too volatile for my constitution. Joe Weiss said, "Yeah, man, it moves up and down a lot. Um, it's crazy. It's crazy how the crypto market moves up and down." Loving the Philharmonics and ASE, of course. Nick the Ice Pick. It's his mafia nickname, he says. Just kidding. Yeah, okay. Nick the Ice Pick either killed someone or it means something else. Just kidding, Nick. Jaden Coots. Okay. Um, got some JM Bullion 10-year anniversary rounds. My favorite silver coin is the 10-ounce Kookaburra. Okay, I have someone spamming spread the okay, I don't even want to use that word because I don't want to get the live stream ban. I don't know how to ban somebody from the chat. Please stop spamming my chat. Whoever is doing that. Gosh, I'm such a terrible live stream admin. I don't know. This is like a horrible spam too. I don't know how to moderate my own chat. That is a problem. Gosh, I don't know. If you guys know how to ban somebody from the chat, let me know. I'll ban Trinette Castro because, hey, seriously, please stop spamming in the chat. I mean, I'll ask nicely. I guess maybe that won't work against a troll. I need a physical or electronic tool for banning this person. I don't know how to do it though. Um, yeah, stop spamming that. Stop it, you. Let's see. Joe Weiss says, Nick, Monument Metal has the 2021 10 ounce for 287 tonight. That's what, the 10 ounce Kookaburra? Yeah, I have a 10 ounce Kookaburra. I put it was I have a 10 ounce Koala and a 10 ounce Kookaburra, I think from 2015. Not seeing the spam on our side. Oh, good, good. Maybe YouTube caught that person. I'm glad you're not seeing the spam. Um, that's a good sign. I need to become better at administering these live streams. Okay, so that was Janet Yellen saying that we'll never see a financial crisis in our lifetimes, and then that was 4 years ago. And then today, or no, this is not today, this is September 28th, she says to Congress that if we don't raise the debt ceiling, there will be a calamity, another crisis. And she might have been kind of hamming it up a little bit, but obviously defaulting on the debt is not the right thing. Um, Hello, SSS. I'm glad you are doing these live. Thanks, Rob F. Yeah, if you guys keep tuning in, I'll keep doing them. I think it's kind of fun to chat with you guys in real time, just kind of a one-on-one. Well, not really a one-on-one because it's one on however many people are viewing, but I don't know. I like communicating with you guys. I like chatting with people in my comments section. I was saying earlier, I just think it's crazy the technology that we have today. We should all be really thankful that we live in an era where there aren't these gatekeepers to information. Yeah, nice, get some moderators. Yeah, I need to figure out how to moderate it myself, but then yeah, probably a moderator would be a good thing to have. I mean, I don't mind moderating the chat. I just like literally technically don't know how to do it. Um, I'm still just a novice to this stuff, but I'll try to figure it out. Um, anyway, we can stop looking at Janet Yellen's face for the time being. So let's see what else we got going on. What else we got going on? I don't know what I was talking about. I lost my train of thought from looking at the chat. But oh yeah, technology. So yeah, it's just crazy. I mean that I can just do a live stream like this from a computer, and you guys can tune in and we communicate like this. It's awesome. I love it. If anybody ever wants to like Skype in to a live stream or something like that, I could set that up probably. I don't know exactly what software is the best way to do that, but that might be kind of fun, just so you don't have to just hear my voice. I know it's nice, but you probably wouldn't mind hearing someone else talk. Um, and I'm sure, I mean, I'm just from reading the chat, I can see that you guys have some interesting insights into precious metals and have a lot to contribute to this conversation. Mick Dundee says, amazing that I just got into the stacking game and came across your channel. Well, thanks, Mick. If you're not subscribed yet, click that subscribe button. Anybody watching, if you're not a subscriber, click the subscribe button, bell notification icon, all that. I really appreciate all of you for subscribing. Silver looks like it's in a white coffee accumulation. Okay, I don't know what that is. I don't know what a white coffee accumulation is. I like coffee. I'd be in for that. Yeah, I think it would be fun to have a caller on one of these live streams, so maybe I'll try to set that up. Got four 2-ounce platypus coins, absolutely gorgeous. StreamYard will do that. I'll hit you up on Twitter. Yeah, you guys, I don't use Twitter too much. I have one. Um, oh, okay, Shane. I thought it was just some technical term that I wasn't familiar with. White coffee accumulation. I guess you meant something else. That's funny though. StreamYard. Yeah, if you guys have any recommendations for streaming stuff, please let me know because, like I said, I'm pretty novice. I'm using OBS right now because I've seen some other people using that. Seems decent. Um, but I just need to kind of get my technical game up for streaming stuff. But I'm sure it wouldn't be too tough to take callers or whatever. Um, 4 2-ounce platypus coins. Yeah, those sound cool. I haven't seen those. Are those from the Perth Mint? If you guys see on the screen what you're looking at right now, the Smart Silver Stacker Live thing, on the right hand side, you see those little 2-ounce bars. Those are from Monarch Precious Metals. They're hand poured bars. That's the latest addition to my stack. They're really cool. I got 4 of those the other day. Small purchase. I didn't want to buy a ton of them because they were kind of high premium, but just wanted to see what these like hand poured bars were all about, and they are really satisfying to stack, I'll tell you, and pretty nice little bars. Nick, the Ice Pick Rigatoni says, hit my goal of 175 ounces of Constitutional with yesterday's purchase of $5 face. Again, congratulations, that's awesome. 175 ounces of Constitutional. If the S does hit the fan, then you'll be all set with that. Maybe you can buy yourself some, a Mad Max RV and some cans of beans or something. Um, Joe Wise says get a black box Atom Pro streaming box. You can dual stream YouTube and Twitch with a single button. Okay, I'll consider it. 175 face, not 175 ounces. Okay, just still good. Perth Mint makes this. StreamYard allows others to join upon your approval. Oh, that's cool, Pastor Mo. Thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate that. Sounds like you guys know a lot more about this than I do. um, but that's not too hard. I'm not setting the bar real high. So anyway, there was this article from, let's see, who was it from? Do I have it open still? Fortune.com. Here, I'll find it again. Fortune magazine. I read this on my previous attempt to live stream, but I don't think anybody saw that. So here's the headline. This came out today. Bitcoin, not gold, is the new inflation hedge. So I'll go ahead and read some of this to you and tell you guys what I think about it. You guys can let me know in the chat what you think. But this guy says when it comes to, oh my gosh, so many pop ups. When it comes to hedges against inflation, Bitcoin is looking more and more like the new gold, according to a note JP Morgan shared with clients Thursday. Bitcoin has been on a run lately, surpassing $50,000 for the first time in a month and up 87% year to date. Gold is down 7.3% in the same time span. Of course, you can always take some like slice of time where you're going to compare assets and you can make that, make whatever asset you want look favorable. But Bitcoin has seen large fluctuations this year, but that doesn't seem to be bothering investors. According to JP Morgan's note, institutional investors appear to be returning to Bitcoin, perhaps seeing it as a better inflation hedge than gold. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. The reemergence of inflation concerns among investors has renewed interest in the usage of Bitcoin as an inflation hedge, the report said. Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I think that the fact that gold is down and Bitcoin is up shows that investors are not looking for an inflation hedge, that they're actually buying risk assets again. Um, Gold was down when the Fed was talking about tapering, um, but that's because investors, I think, believe that inflation is going to get under control. They think the Fed is, in control at the helm. They're going to taper, they're going to lift off, they're going to get inflation under control. And I think that investors are just getting that wrong. But, they just believe what Jerome Powell is telling them. He did say at the FOMC press conference that the taper would be starting soon and it would be over by mid 2022. Now, I would be shocked if that was the case. Of course, even if they do end the $120 billion in monthly asset purchases that are currently going on, the interest rates are still extremely low. And as we saw, Janet Yellen saying just moments ago at the congressional testimony on the debt ceiling, the idea of interest rates going up will make servicing our massive debt that much harder. And I mean, of course, I don't want to beat a dead horse. Whoops, what did I go to here? I'm looking for the U.S. debt clock. See what's going on with the debt. Oh, it's .org, not .com. My mistake. But yeah, 28.8 trillion dollars, and then unfunded liabilities. So that's everything else that the U.S. government has to pay for. Veterans benefits, Social Security, Medicare, all that stuff. 157 trillion. So how are we going to pay for all that, guys? It's not going to get paid for. People say tax the rich. You really think Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk have 157 trillion dollars to pay for all this stuff? No, you could take every penny from all the billionaires and not be able to pay for these unfunded liabilities. And let me go back to the chat. Um, got the RV and preps already. Nick the Ice Pick Rigatoni says, all right. Pastor Mo says knowledgeable mods will be able to help you out in many ways. Yeah, I'm sure they would, man. I'm a one-man show. I'll probably keep it that way for a while, but I wouldn't mind if I need, mods. I would accept help. Joe Y says $1 face value junk silver times 0.7232 equals a troy ounce. Um, Yeah, I always use the number 0.715. I think that when the junk silver coins were minted, they contained 0.7232 troy ounces, but if you're dealing with worn coins, which typically if you're using the term junk silver, you're implying some level of circulation, I think that the agreed upon number is 0.715. You can correct me if I'm wrong about that, but just because they probably lost some silver. Um, Nick the Ice Pick says, Nick the Pick. He says only had $2,000 in Bitcoin. It hit $2,500, sold half, and bought a half ounce of gold. Yeah, I'd say if you've got some gains in crypto, rolling those over into precious metals, probably not a bad idea. Pastor Mo says, guys, please hit the thumbs up. Oh, are you vying for that mod position, Pastor Mo? Thanks for the help. Yeah, guys, if you're watching, please click that thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help the channel out, help with that YouTube algorithm. Let's spread the word about silver. Hey, HVAC, you're back. He says $1 40 vase is also 1 troy ounce if dimes, quarters, and halves. Yeah, right. That is a fact. A buck 40 is going to be roughly 1 troy ounce. Of course, you got to give or take a little bit just because there is going to be some wear, but taken across the whole, that's the local coin shop standard. Joe says, yeah, you have to assume some wear, and the HVAC raises an interesting point that a buck 40 faces 1 troy ounce. So that I've mentioned reasons I like dimes in the past, junk silver dimes, but that is a huge reason because if all you've got are quarters and half dollars, that's going to make it a lot harder to achieve 1 troy ounce. I mean, it's actually not possible. You can get 10 troy ounces, I guess, by getting like $14 faced together, but if you want to hit 1 troy ounce of silver, you actually need the dimes to be able to get to that quantity. Can't hear you well, Alan Colgrove says. Can't hear you well. Volume very low. I'm sorry, Alan. I know that there are some audio problems. People were telling me that earlier in the stream. I'm using a Bluetooth headset that's somewhat new. I have a better microphone. Maybe I'll use that in the future. It's a little bit cumbersome to kind of get set up in my office, but I use it when I'm recording the videos, so I might just use that in the future. I was kind of hoping this headset might work, but it might not. Also, I might have to switch. Anyway, if you can't hear me, guys, just crank the volume up. I'm sorry. I know if you're on a phone or mobile device, that's not always the most helpful thing. I don't know how to boost the input from this microphone. Jaden Coots. Okay, Jaden, I don't know what you mean by that. It's just one word, and a word that must not be said on YouTube. Uh, I don't want to have myself censored, so I'm not going to use that word. Now, there is in OBS some settings to increase the volume. I don't know if increasing this helps at all. I'll get this message retracted, Jaden. Okay, Jaden. um, Pastor Mo says, I believe 19 war nickels equals 1 troy ounce. Maybe. Yeah, war nickels are a weird one, right? SSS. Okay, thanks, Jaden. No, I think it's just my microphone is low. I'm feeling quite well, actually. Maybe I'm asymptomatic. I don't know. I feel fine, though. Don't spread any dirty rumors about my health. As far as I know, I'm in fine health. Healthy as a horse. Anyway, what else we got going on? We got these JBR bars over at JM Bullion. I already talked about those briefly. We can go see what's going on in gold news over at Kitco. Well, what news sites do you guys like for silver stuff? I mean, I usually look at Kitco. I might look at Google News and see what their news feed has for silver and gold. What do you guys use? Zero Hedge. I'll read that sort of stuff as well. But I'd be interested if you guys have some good news sources. I love silver and whiskey, Jaden says. Yeah, who doesn't love silver and whiskey? You know what you want to do is you want to get a silver mint julep cup, and then you can enjoy both at the same time. If you do the traditional mint julep cup, that'll be made of sterling silver. And then you can have silver and whiskey together. A good drink, too. Good drink. If you're going to watch the Kentucky Derby, make sure you drink one. Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. I've kind of gone through the prepared stuff I had. We had the congressional testimony from Janet Yellen, um, junk silver shortage. If you guys have been out to the local coin shop, I'd be curious to know what you're getting for junk silver. I mentioned in the live stream I did earlier today, I've been putting out polls. So if you guys want to participate in the polls, you can go to the Smart Silver Stacker YouTube page. I'm going to get that pulled up. Here we've got the Smart Silver Stacker page, and then, oh, look, there's our Smart Silver Stacker live icon. That's us. But if you go to this community tab, you'll see that I've got some polls up here, and this is one vote for this poll. I know that's not correct, but I'm not logged in right now. But the question was, if you could stack only one, which would you pick? American Silver Eagles, Canadian Maple Leaf, Morgan Silver Dollars, Mercury Dimes, or Silver Bars? Kind of an arbitrary selection, um, but this is more of just a fun one. Previous polls I did recently, what is your primary motivation for stacking silver? I just dropped a video about that poll the other day. What would be the best type of silver bullion for barter after SHTF? What is your favorite type of silver bullion to stack? So, been doing these polls for about 2 weeks now. They're kind of fun. I like it as a way of just interacting with you guys. Gives me good content for videos too. They're always some good comments on those polls. So if you haven't seen those yet, go over to that community page and vote on those polls and leave a comment. I'm going to start featuring some of the best comments from the polls in the videos I do about them. So if you want to get into a Smart Silver Stacker video, leave a comment. Jaden Coots says, I listened to Peter Schiff and Kitco News. Yeah, I listened to both of those too. I like Peter Schiff. Um, Yahoo Finance seems to be the least caustic precious metals news. Kitco is a bit too optimistic. Yeah, Kitco is definitely biased in favor of gold and silver stackers. I would say that's true. Yahoo Finance, yeah, they usually seem to be a pretty good like aggregator of news. Um, I prefer silver and sacramental wine. Pastor Mo. Well, you are the pastor after all. Um, so that would make sense. I guess you have a chalice, right, Pastor? You got a silver chalice. I think that's what you drink sacramental wine out of. Nick the Pick says my last LCS pickup was 150 over spot for junk dimes. Yeah, I wish I had a local coin shop. If I could only stack one, it would be dimes. Yeah, I would probably go into that category as well. If I had to pick one of these forms of bullion to stack. I mean, they all have something going for them, and I love silver bars, but dimes, if for nothing other than the fact that they're so divisible and recognizable. I get most of my info from image boards like Reddit and 4chan. Shane Furtado says that. Okay, I don't really frequent 4chan too much. I am on Reddit. I like Wall Street Silver. Anybody like Wall Street Silver? I'm a big fan of Wall Street Silver. And, I always use the old Reddit site. But let's see what's going on over at Wall Street Silver. There's usually some good stuff over there. That's probably my favorite Reddit subreddit. They've always got good stuff. They've got their own YouTube channel. They've got a lot of great videos on there. So shout out to Wall Street Silver if you somehow see this live stream or hear about it. I'm a big fan of you. They've always got some good bullion pictures. Like let's see what they got over here. This 10 ounce Aztec calendar bar from the Golden State Mint. That looks cool. I don't know why I can't get this to. Oh, there we go. Yeah, very cool. And there's probably a cool Aztec calendar on the back. Man, that's an awesome 10-ounce bar. I wouldn't mind picking up one of those. I have an Aztec calendar round, a 1 ounce round. I did a video about it a little while ago. It's got a guy named, what's his name? Guamtech or so. There's a cool story about the guy who's on the coin. This guy. Oh, yeah, Cuauhtemoc. That's right, Cuauhtemoc. The last emperor of the Aztec Empire, and he was only emperor for a very short period of time. It was after Moctezuma, I think, died of smallpox. He kind of inherited the reins before he was butchered by the Spanish. So, real cheery story about Cuauhtemoc. Of course, he was over there sacrificing humans and stuff, so I don't feel too sorry for him. But the Aztec calendar is a pretty interesting image. And the reason I have that 1 ounce round, it's actually like my carry piece. I used to carry a Morgan silver dollar around with me, but I started carrying this Aztec round because I actually just think it's a cool piece. It's got like so much going on. You can pull it out and look at it, and it's got all this fine detail of the Aztec calendar, which is pretty neat. Um, so anyway, apes, yeah, Silver Dog apes in the chat there. Oh, a lot of chat. Okay, let's check back up on the chat and see what's going on. You got to drink all the wine you bless. Out of a silver chalice is nice. Christopher Garland says, yeah. Um, Silver Dog apes, yeah. Go Wall Street Silver. Joe Y says, Wall Street Silver. I'm Joe, the bass player on there. Yeah, man. Wall Street Silver it up. They got those inflation billboards now, letting everybody know what's up with fiat currency. Nick says Kruger and Maples in Britannia Philharmonics. Kruger and Maples, Britannia Philharmonics. Okay. Love the Queen's Beast coins. Yeah, I don't own any British coins, I don't think. I mean, I actually have some old, like, junk silver coins, some shillings or something like that. I have some old world coins that I came across at some point, but that's it. I don't have any modern bullion from them. Just got my 10-ounce Greyhound this week, Joe Y says. Cool, man. Yeah, I love 10 ounce. Is the Greyhound a bar or a round? Yeah, if you watched my recent video about 10-ounce silver bars, you know that I consider a 10-ounce round to basically be a bar. Once you get over 10 ounce, everything's a bar in my opinion. It's just a round bar. Um, let's see what is going on here. They give us a sale and we buy shiny bricks. Man, those RCM bars. Gosh, I want to get some of those. I do not have an RCM bar, but they are amazing bars. So really hoping that one of these days I am going to walk into a local coin shop and I'm going to have just like $2,000 or $3,000 in my pocket, and they're going to have an RCM bar for a spot, and I'm going to pick it up one of these days. That's like a smart silver stacker dream. I hope that happens. Um, Jaden Coots, what percentage of your silver would you sell if it went to 50 next year? I probably wouldn't sell any if it went to 50, to be honest. I probably would sell some of the paper silver assets I have, like some mining stocks and stuff like that. I'd probably take a profit on that. Um, but I don't think I would sell any of my physical bullion at $50. If we broke $100 in the next year, I would maybe consider selling some of my silver. There are some things I would like to, at $100, I think I could kind of justify it, and there's some things like I might, pay off my mortgage and stuff like that. But Nick the Ice Pick Rigatoni, if silver went to 50, I'd sell half and buy gold. Well, maybe. It would depend on what gold was doing, of course. I'd have to look at the gold price as well as the silver price. Like, let's say silver went to 50, but gold didn't move at all. Yeah, I would consider selling some silver and buying some gold. But, like, if silver went to 50 and gold went to 10,000, well, I would sell my gold and buy more silver. So it all depends on what the two prices do relative to one another. Um, if the if the gold to silver ratio were to collapse, like let's say it collapsed to 10 or something like that, yeah, I would definitely consider then selling some silver and switching into gold. But it would have to be a really significant collapsing, like I'm talking a 1 to 10 ratio or something like that, for me to consider doing that, because I think every time you sell physical and buy you're losing something on the spread there because it's physical bullion, unless you're just brokering an amazing deal. Um, but again, I would consider selling paper assets much more readily than selling physical. The physical metal is sort of like my core holding, so I'd kind of be content to never sell it, and just pass it on as generational wealth. Now, if the opportunity arose and silver, the ratio of silver to other assets like the Dow Jones or the S&P 500 or say real estate, like if I could buy a house for 1,000 ounces of silver, well, I'd sell the silver and buy the house then because I would consider the ratio to be favorable then to buy the house would be undervalued at that point, not the silver. But with the way prices are now, silver is definitely way undervalued, and it's like yeah, if silver went to 100. If silver goes to 100, all the other assets are going to be moving around significantly as well. You're not going to get this 5x move up in silver and not have a disruptive situation in the economy. I don't think that that would happen in a vacuum. So what miners do you own? Jaden Coots says. Okay, yeah, so none of this, of course, is financial advice or anything like that. But, I like the large cap miners. Newmont, I have some of that. I do have some First Majestic silver as well. They are primarily a silver producing property, and I'm more bullish on silver than on gold, so I like them. As far as juniors, there's Impact Silver, a really small junior mining company, but they produce a lot of silver. It's not like a byproduct of other metals that they're mining. They're focused primarily on silver, so I think that that's a good play. Again, stocks are risky. They're a leverage to the price of silver. They're gambling a little bit, in my opinion. Um, you don't really need to go pick and choose among the miners either. Uh, I mean, I think Newmont's good. I like Newmont because they pay a dividend. Any miner that pays a dividend, I think, is a good thing. You're getting paid to hold them, and miners are really cheap right now. So again, none of this is financial advice or anything. I'm just kind of chatting, and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just this YouTube guy, So I don't know how much regulation or anything there is. I think I can say whatever I want, but you just get worried because God knows, it's the internet. People are crazy. Um, but you can always just buy something like the GDX or the GDXJ, the gold miners index, and that way just diversify amongst the miners and not have too much risk. Or you can go with something like Peter Schiff has like a managed gold mutual fund. You could buy that. He's got that professionally managed by a guy named Adrian Day, who's like a stock picker. I'm definitely not a stock picker. I'm not that smart. I know I'm smart silver stacker, but I just like alliteration, and I don't know that much about stocks. But if silver went to $50, presumably the gold mining stocks and silver mining stocks would probably move up significantly as well. So I'd be probably more likely to sell paper assets like that that are more liquid than physical metal than to actually sell any bullion. Let's see what else they got here on Wall Street Silver. Here's a meme. Silver mining 2030 is just a garbage pile. Yeah, there is a lot of silver in landfills. That's true because of people throwing out electronics and smartphones and stuff like that. I mean, smartphones haven't even been around that long, and I've thrown several out. They just break after a while. The batteries go bad, screen cracks, whatever, and you just throw them in the trash. It's easier to just go buy a new phone than to repair a new one or repair an old one. But that is consigning a pretty steady amount of silver in these tiny quantities to landfills. And at the current silver prices, it's not economical to recover that silver. It could become economical if the silver price were to move up drastically, but it would have to move up quite a bit for silver recovery from things like landfills and electronic waste to really become um, viable economically. So until we see the silver price move up, more and more of the above ground silver is just going to work its way into landfills. Um, let's see what else we got here. If silver goes to $50, the squeeze is on, and I'm holding to the moon. Yeah, well, I mean, silver could go to 50, I think, and that wouldn't necessarily mean that the squeeze is on. Silver hit 50 in 2011, and there's been a lot of inflation since then, so hitting 50 today wouldn't even really be the same as hitting 50 in 2011. That would be you'd have to get a little higher. So I wouldn't necessarily say that the squeeze is on. Like, so that would be charted territory for silver. It's been that high before. If you take the old high from 1980 and you adjust that for inflation, even using like the CPI, I think it comes out to something like $168. So I'd say if you break $150 on silver, then you could say that something like the squeeze is on. Yeah, $150 plus squeeze is definitely on, like really on. Like silver is unobtainium on. And that's a real possibility. People are always naysaying about silver, like this couldn't happen. Silver will never hit $50 again. That's crazy. Silver's guaranteed to hit $50 again. I don't know when. It might be a while, but to say like, there's these shills against silver on. I see them in the comments section of my own videos, but on Reddit and stuff too. People just say, "Oh, silver will never hit $50 again. Buy Bitcoin." And it's like, man, I don't want to buy the asset that's gone up 5,000x over the past 10 years and is in this enormous bubble. I want to buy the thing that's super cheap and has a lot of room to move up. Um, let's see. Bay Horse Silver is a good junior mine, Shane Furtado says. Yeah, there's a lot of juniors out there. I mean, obviously, junior mines are going to be, your riskiest investment. If they're not turning a profit, if they're not paying a dividend, those are like really speculative and risky assets, I would say. Something like Newmont or Barrick, those are sort of like the workhorses. And I think both of those just hit a 52-week low recently. So it might be a good time to scoop some up. Again, I'm not saying to go buy stocks, but you could look at them. They're cheap now. And I think that when the price of silver does move up, and it could move up a lot. I mean, I don't think that 150 is an unreasonable price target for silver because that is lower than the inflation adjusted previous high. So it just seems to make sense that silver could definitely take out that 150 mark. And I know when you're at 22.15, that sounds crazy, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just basing it on history. Like it's been that high before, so why wouldn't it go that high again? It's not like that would be unheard of. Um, let's see. Totally random question. Has anyone bought from Hero Bullion? If so, have you had a good experience there? Currently the best price for a lot of stuff online. I don't know. Anybody in the chat, let us know. I've not heard of Hero Bullion, but there's a lot of metals dealers out there. So if you guys have any experience with Hero Bullion, let us know. Um, I've always basically dealt with SD Bullion, JM Bullion, APMEX. I've mentioned in the past that I used to buy from the Scottsdale Mint eBay store because they used to have really good sales there where you could pick stuff up close to spot. But yeah, if you're dealing with dealers that you've never dealt with before and that are new, just exercise caution because there have been scams before in the past. I can't remember the exact mint, but there was some kind of scam back in like 2011 where people were taking all these orders for silver and then they weren't getting shipped, and that has happened before. Jaden Coos, did you just give me a buck 99, Jaden? Again, that's like a super chat or something. I'm so new to this. Thank you very much. If you just gave me $1.99, I really appreciate it. That's awesome. Silver Dragons recommended Hero. Um, yeah, well, okay, Silver Dragons. I mean, that's a great channel. He knows a lot about silver, so if he's recommending them, they're probably legit. I would say that Silver Dragons is a reputable individual. So I've never heard him say anything on his videos that I really would disagree with fundamentally. We might have different preferences and stuff, but Silver Dragon seems like he knows what he's talking about when it comes to stacking. So maybe Hero Bullion is worth checking out. I have, but it took forever to ship. Okay, so Nick says he's dealt with Hero Bullion before it took forever to ship. Yeah, I don't know when you bought from him. If you bought from him earlier this year, I don't know if you guys remember the Silver Squeeze. I mean, shipping times were pretty extended back then. Hero Bullion is a great suggestion. You will not go wrong. Pastor Mo says, okay, well, I'll have to go check out. Um, have to go check out Hero Bullion. I bought from Hero Bullion for a year now. Eli, hey Eli, you're always commenting on my videos. Thanks for joining the live stream, man. Appreciate it. Okay, Eli says Hero Bullion's good. Well, I'll have to check out Hero Bullion next time I'm doing some stacking. Like I said, I don't really have a local coin shop, so I do primarily buy from online dealers. So let's go take a look at Hero Bullion. Everybody's talking about it. Let's see, Hero Bullion. What kind of stuff do they got? Um, let's see what they got in stock. Well, you can get a 1 ounce silver round for 25.58. That seems like a pretty good price. Let's see what do. They have any? Do they have junk silver? I would be curious to see if they have junk silver. Precious metal. Let's filter by silver. Got any 90%? Yeah, yeah, they got some junk silver. Let's see, what's their price? What's their price? Wow, 1987 for $1 face value. That is a good deal. Now, how many do you got to? Okay, you got to buy 1,000. You got to buy $1,000 face value to get that pricing, but it is available as low as 4.99 over spot. That's the lowest premium I've seen tonight, and $20.87 for a single dollar face value. That's not bad. I don't know, free shipping on orders over 99 bucks. Okay, well, I mean, if Hero Bullion checks out and you guys have had a good experience with them, then it looks like their pricing is pretty legit. So thank you guys for bringing that to my attention. I might be doing some shopping with these guys, but it looks like they do have a good price on their silver. Let's see what else they got. They've got these 100-gram bars. Yeah, man, I kind of wish that we all just thought in metric. Wouldn't it be easier if we didn't have these troy ounces? They're like, 30 something grams, and then, oh, there's that other kind of unpronounceable ounce that I'm not even going to try, but like a standard ounce, whatever that unpronounceable word is. Metric would be just so much easier, but I'm just so conditioned to thinking in troy ounces that I don't know if there's ever any reprogramming that for me. But gosh, it would be nice to just operate in grams exclusively. Um, yep, newer company trying to get some momentum. Let's see. What are you guys saying here? Their Eagle Type 2s are cheaper than SD Bullion. Eli says, I've spoken with Jake, the owner, and is in my 2 Bullion Facebook groups. Check out the Germania 109-gram bars. Jaden Coots says, not silver, dude. I wanted to see if I could do that. Matter of time, like you say. I don't stack for when SHTF, but I'll be ready if it does. I'm getting ready for halfway SHTF. Yeah, well, we're kind of already in halfway SHTF. You know, to say that times are normal right now, I think is kind of optimistic. The past couple of years have sort of already been SHTF, and when you've got $29 trillion in debt and you have all this instability around the world, we're already kind of halfway SHTF. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that there was rioting in the streets in America, and we're still, people are so divided and hateful towards each other these days, and people are also just being impoverished by this monetary system that we have. The people at the bottom of the economic ladder really are getting screwed, and it doesn't have to do with the middle class screwing them over. It's the ultra rich, and they're not wrong, but the right way to resolve these issues isn't to redistribute wealth via the government. Peter Schiff uses the analogy a lot that wealth redistribution is kind of like getting a blood transfusion from your left arm to your right arm, and you spill half the blood along the way. And I think that's right. And what we really should be focusing on is liberty and sound money and austerity, in the sense that government probably needs to be shrunk. The size of government's too big, and it's just too expensive. And all this military adventurism around the world is we just can't afford it. That's what's impoverishing everybody. It's not the rich. It's not Jeff Bezos. I mean, God, I love Amazon. Amazon's amazing. They get me whatever I want to my door within 2 days. I like Amazon. It's a product of the free market. What we need. And to any extent of these big corporations, it's not like they're angels. They do evil stuff, but they're really empowered by fiat currency and cheap money and central banking and stuff. It really empowers them to be their absolute worst. Um, anyway, let's see. See what you guys are saying. Yeah, Nick Ice Pick says he got some gold coming from Hero Bullion. HVAC says, I'm tubing up 400 quarters. Would you prefer tubes by date, weight, or a mix of dates? I don't know. I'd probably just categorize them by type. So, I'd put all my Barber dimes together, and then I'd put all of my Mercury dimes together, and I'd put all of my Roosevelt dimes together. But I don't know that I'd really do much beyond that. Um, I'm not too obsessive compulsive about how I organize my stack. But that's how I would do it. Christopher Garland says, so since I brought Hero Bullion up to you, You can all send me money for the suggestions every time you order from them. Yeah, Christopher, Hero Bullion should be sending you some bullion. That's who should be sending you something for advertising for them and bringing attention to their low prices. So Hero Bullion, if you're watching, hit up Christopher Garland. I think you owe him an ounce. Maybe a nice 1 ounce bar should be sent his way for getting you all this favorable attention from silver stackers. Um, what else we got going on tonight, guys? Let's see. That's a good meme. I like that. Wall Street Silver. Has anybody actually seen a Wall Street Silver billboard? I have not. I would love to, though. I don't know if anybody's actually seen one of these around anywhere, but supposedly they're going up. They got these, buy silver, protect yourself from inflation billboards. That guy raised all that money via GoFundMe to put these things up. Um, HVAC Residential Basics says I'm OCD. Yeah, yeah, I am a little bit, but I don't know. Not to that extent where I'm too concerned about how I organize stuff. You guys have seen in my videos, I definitely handle a lot of silver with no gloves or anything. I mean, to me, it's just bullion. If I had numismatics, I put on the white gloves and all that stuff. But typically, I'm not too concerned about little stuff like that, a little bit of fingerprints or tarnish or whatever. Not too OCD about my stack. I like this one. Silver is money. Hashtag silver squeeze. Yeah, we should all know that, and I think that there is growing awareness in the public. Let's see, Wall Street Silver now has got 158,000 subscribers, 677 people reading right now. Um, so maybe I should post a link to the live stream um, on Wall Street Silver next time. That might be a good idea. SD Bullion, JM Bullion, APMEX, Money Metals Exchange, and Monumental Metals Hero Bullion are all ones I've used. Um, yeah, I've heard good things about Money Metals Exchange. Never used them personally. My stack is pretty straight and organized. I use monster boxes to store all my tubes, even my junk. Um, yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, keeping it organized definitely will help you to know what you have and to keep track of everything. I know that can get a little daunting, especially if you're a stacker like me, where I sometimes I wish I just had, like dimes, 10-ounce bars, and eagles. That's it. But I have all this weird, eclectic pieces of silver, like this 2-ounce poured bars, and got a bunch of silver dollars, kind of stored in different ways. I've got some in sleeves and some in boxes, and I just get because I never make it. I typically don't make like large purchases at one time. I just kind of wait until I see a deal on something, and I'll try to add some to the stack and try to just keep the dollar cost average low. Um, I don't, have like a super uniform stack, so it is what it is. There's some advantages to that as well, I think. But overall, yeah, keeping your stack organized. I have a spreadsheet on. Yeah, a spreadsheet is definitely what you want. You should keep a spreadsheet, and that way you can keep track of all of your, cost and all that stuff as well. I think that's probably wise to track your physical purchases on a spreadsheet and you don't have to pay to do that. You can just use that on like Google Sheets or something like that. There's free, excuse me, there's free spreadsheet software out there. So anyway, guys, I don't know if there's anything else you want to get into this evening. See, I have quarters weighing 6.5 grams to 5.85 grams. The mint says 90% should weigh 6.25. Well, it sounds like you are averaging out pretty much 6.25. That is one of the things about junk is that it's not 100% uniform. Um, but I don't know. I think at the end of the day, most dealers, as long as it's obvious that everything isn't like super slick or worn, are just going to go by that 0.715 troy ounce rule, and they're just going to go by face value. But HVAC dealers that I've talked to have always told me that that would always be the case. That They're always going to just assume that $1 face value of junk silver is $1 face value. One situation where I could see that change, though, is if the price of silver moved up dramatically. Like I'm just hypothetically, whatever, it goes up to like 150 bucks an ounce. You might start seeing dealers weighing individual junk silver coins rather than just saying, whatever, they're probably worn evenly. Um, Good chat. I'll be back. Good night, all. Okay, good night, man. Um, Good Citizen says, when do you live stream? Are you on a schedule or is it at random? Well, this is only the second live stream I've ever done. So far, I do live streams at about 7 p.m. on Friday, and I did one at noon today as well. But I just had kind of open availability in my schedule today. So I'm not on any kind of a schedule for live streaming. I'm sure that it is helpful to be on a schedule for live streaming, so I will have to figure that out and find out when it is a good time for me. When would you guys like to see a live stream? Usually I can't do too much on the weekends, like on Saturday and Sunday, but weekdays I can do live streams. I don't know if you have any preferences. I'll probably start doing these more regularly. I will try to get on a schedule. I can't really tell you right now how I'll be doing that, but just keep an eye out in the community tab of the channel and keep an eye out for notifications. Make sure you're subscribed. You click the bell notification icon and all that so you get notified when I start one. I'm glad you're enjoying my streams, guys. It's great to get positive feedback. I love a pat on the back as much as the next guy. So thank you for the feedback, and thank you for participating. I couldn't really do this without you giving me some information in the chat there. I always like hearing what you guys have to say. Now let's see what Christopher said here. He said, I have a spreadsheet on all my stuff so I know what I have. That way for collectibles, I don't buy two if I don't want to. Yeah, definitely. If you're kind of a collectible stacker as well, keeping track, it's easy to start forgetting about what you have. Um, Picked up a Ziploc bag full of 80% Canadian and 50% at a yard sale, all in flips, and labeled for 20 bucks, worth at least 100 so far. Awesome, man. Yeah, when you find silver at yard sales and stuff, that is always exciting. In my experience, it has never been really much ROI in terms of, you spend a lot of time looking for those deals, but when you do find them, it is exciting. My schedule is chaotic, but we'll try to jump on when I can. Do you ever listen to Salivate Metals channel? Yeah, I've heard Salivate Metals. HX is 8 p.m. Friday Eastern time. 9 p.m. is good too. Yeah, I might start doing like a Friday night live stream. I mean, that's basically this time slot right now. That would probably be good for me. We appreciate you doing this live stream for us. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. Wouldn't be much fun if I was just talking to myself. I mean, I don't know. I was concerned when I started the idea of doing the live stream. Is a little intimidating because it's like, oh my gosh, what if I just can't think of anything to say? But as it turns out, I'm pretty good at rambling on, I guess. Maybe that's a skill set for live streaming. Maybe I like the sound of my own voice. I don't know. Great live stream tonight. Yeah, Fridays are cool if there's a choice. Yeah, it's probably a good night for me too. So I probably will persist with the Friday time slot, and I might do the lunchtime one today too. I was just kind of playing around with the live streaming earlier today, and I started one up around I think noon, and I had a bunch of people who popped in said they were on their lunch break. So and I don't really have a lunch break per se. So if I can catch you guys around noontime, that would be good too. Um, Anyway, I'm glad to get feedback from you guys on the live stream. I know I've said that, but again, thank you very much for tuning in and watching. Um, it's really the most fun part about having a YouTube channel is getting to hear about everything that you guys have to say. Let's see what else we got going on here. Hello Apes, what do you think of my latest investment? This is on the front page of Wall Street Silver. Looks like kangaroos. Yeah, I like that. I like kangaroos quite a bit actually. And looks like he's got some gold here too. Um, yeah, who doesn't like checking out just pictures of silver? Silver stackers. We're an odd breed. It's Friday night. It's like, let me look at these pictures of metal. With other people. Yes, yes, I enjoy doing this, but I do. Gets the dopamine flowing for me. Um, let's see. HVAC says I do a live stream with Hoosier and it's a blast. Uh, cool, HVAC. Yeah, I think I'm subbed to your channel, but if I ever catch you doing one, I'll definitely pop in. We streaming talk as a community, bud. We all feed off one another. Yeah, exactly. It's great. Beat that like button like the Comex beats down silver. Thank you, Nick the Pick. Yeah, if you're watching and you haven't clicked that like button yet, please do that. Clandestine Syndicate says, like your vids, man. Well, thank you. I like making them. I like talking about silver. I enjoy it, and I'm glad you guys enjoy my videos. I've been trying to put out more lately. Ideally, I'd be putting about 5 a week, like one a day, but I don't always hit that number. Thank you, and God bless everyone. Can't wait to do it again. Thank you, Pastor. And looks like people are. It's not my channel; it's his channel. Okay, so I guess if you want to see HVAC live streaming, look up what's the channel name. HVAC. Let us know. Hoosier. See you later, Pastor Mo. Yeah, thank you, Pastor Mo. I appreciate all the suggestions about streaming. Appreciate you chiming in. Go enjoy some sacramental wine from your chalice, and we'll see you later. Um, but yeah, HVAC, let us know where your live streams can be found. I know you're always commenting on my videos, and I really appreciate that. Um, well, I think that about wraps it up for this evening, guys. I don't know if there's anything else that comes to mind. Just kind of looking around Wall Street silver now, and what the latest stuff with silver is. I think keep on stacking. Of course, that's kind of the message lately, because I think that right now these low prices in silver are an opportunity. I think that with $29 trillion in debt and $157 in unfunded liabilities, and the Secretary of Treasury telling us that we cannot pay our bills without borrowing more money, the writing is on the wall, and it's clearly a good time to be accumulating metals. And the fact that metals have stayed low, people keep telling me, like, hey, you should have bought Bitcoin. Imagine how much money you'd have. Well, look, Bitcoin was low in 2011. It's high now. Silver was 50 bucks in 2011. It's 22.15 now. It's super undervalued. It's a metal you gotta have for industrial production. There's shortages of all sorts of stuff going on right now, so don't be surprised if we see silver shortages and a big spike up in the price of the metals. Maybe they'll get held down for a while, but let the manipulators play their game. We're going to play ours. We're going to stack more physical metal, take it off of the market, get the real thing. Don't, if you don't have physical metal, don't mess around with paper. Get yourself some physical bullion, get some real hard assets outside of the financial system and the banking system. And yeah, keep on stacking, everybody. And thank you again. I really do appreciate you guys all watching and commenting in the chat. It's what makes this fun to do. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Please enjoy the rest of your Friday night. I'm going to make a playlist of those poll videos. So if you guys want to participate in the Smart Silver Stacker polls, go check those out, vote, leave a comment, and I'm going to start making a playlist of all the videos with those so you can check that out. And yeah, guys, just click that like button, and then I will catch you guys next time. Hope you all have a great night. Hope you all have a great weekend. Look for more live streams. I guess Friday night is tentatively when I'm going to be doing these, but we will see. I will let you all know. And that's it. Smart Silver Stacker out. Hope you enjoyed the live stream.